Hey everyone, it's the Nitty Professor. I'm here with my daughter, Darren, and we're taking a little break from all of the trying news and returning to a bit of boot content. My boot content of late has been a bit thin because I have a lot of pairs and I don't need to be going out buying more. However, for my daughter, I bought her, at her request, a pair of Grant Stone boots for her birthday back in the fall. And she came up to visit. We kind of need each other in these challenging times of we don't know what's going to happen with the future. So
Stay close.
that's right. And she wore her Grant Stones, so I said, let's do a video to talk about them and how they're working out. So this is the field boot.
Yes.
By Grant Stone.
I tied them up. Look nice.
You did a really good job.
Here, let me just hold one.
I can hold the other one.
Yeah.
So these boots are mock toe construction. And in fact, I have my Rancords here to kind of contrast and compare. Now, one of the things I love about American Heritage boots is just the celebration of American heritage. It occurred to me, so my family has been here on my father's side since 1632.
I didn't even know that.
And on my mom's side since the 1740s. They were immigrants way back then. But you are half Bulgarian.
Yep.
So that, it makes for interesting kind of a dynamic when you're talking about, like, heritage, right? I mean, we really need to go to your half home country.
I know.
And your boyfriend is an immigrant.
Exactly.
A naturalized citizen. And I assume you're proud of that.
Oh, very much so.
Extremely, because,
Melting pot family.
Exactly. Exactly. So the American Heritage, for me, it's like huge. In fact, I just finished reading a paper that my sister wrote on an ancestor named, of all things, Littlebury Brown from the 19th century. And all the way from his fighting in the War of 1812 to his life in Virginia and the enslaved people who worked for him, all the good, bad, and the ugly, and how he died penniless in his 70s. So, so much Americana. Now, what's interesting about Grant Stone is we have a very American model of boot. This is mock toe, right? So, came from the Native Americans, but they're made in China. As you guys know, who are boot lovers, Grant Stone makes no secret of the fact that they found these great bootmakers in this Xiamen, I think it's called, island in China, and they've been working with them for the longest time. But other than that, they're very American. In fact, I don't know if you know much about the leather.
No.
This is Chromexcel from Horween Tannery in Chicago. In fact, I was just kind of curious if we have pull-up. And I don't really detect a lot of pull-up with this particular Chromexcel. I do have boot leather with more pull-up, but these are really very, very black. Now, before I go into the construction, I would love to know the comfort level. So, like, break-in, how they've been feeling on your feet.
It's been really, really lovely. The second I put them on, it felt like stepping on butter in a way. They really quickly took on the form to my feet. There's a lot of insole in there, and there's extra padding and such. So another thing I liked too was with the mock toe construction, there's so much space in the toe. Recently I've had multiple pairs of sneakers that feel like they're closing in on the toes of my feet or closing in on the arch of my foot. And this has been super roomy, which I really like. So a lot more comfortable for walking in long periods of time. I was actually surprised. I mean, I've probably worn these about 10 times now.
They're pretty good broken in by now.
I know, yeah. They're getting some of my natural creases in there. They're really taking on the shape of my foot already. What is this kind of sole called?
So that is a wedge sole, crepe sole. And it is the Grant Stone proprietary sole. So this is not like Vibram, but it's similar material.
So a lot of the times I've been wearing these two out in the snow, out in the winter. So they've been really insulating. I've really enjoyed that. It's a different experience for me too because I don't have a lot of leather boots or shoes. So it's quite nice.
Your feet are being spoiled.
Yes, very much so.
I'm going to open this baby up so we can look inside.
Let's do it.
Grant Stone quality is really extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how they've been dealing with all the tariff situation, which is still under investigation. And hopefully a decision will be rendered soon with regard to the legality of all that. I'm trying to get the inside to show up for you guys. And I'm there.
There we
There we
go.
go. Yay.
Yeah.
It's all in the phone, guys.
Super, super comfy. Yeah.
So, it's not like we're talking bargain basement. No, this is not like Thursday boots or something like that, which are all totally made in Mexico. Obviously, the leather is from the United States. If you guys know more than I do about like where all the other components come from, I assume they're from the United States. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb and suggest that I know why these are comfortable for you.
Oh, tell me.
So the insole, to my knowledge, well, number one, we have this padded collar. So this is a leather padded collar.
That's so nice.
This boot is taller than a lot of the Grant Stone boots, and that's by design. They're supposed to be very protective. They are designed to be very comfortable for long walks out in the field. Thus, field boot. But now we have 360 degree Goodyear welt. So it's an all around Goodyear welt. The welt is made of vegetable tan leather. The midsole is made of vegetable tan leather. There is a steel shank, and as far as I know, the heel counter is also made of vegetable tan leather. So this boot is all leather, apart from the sole, and the shank, and the hardware. And the hardware is kind of nice because instead of speed hooks, we have, I honestly don't know what this hardware is called. However, if you guys know what these rings are called, just let us know. And then we have the regular eyelets here.
I do really like them. They're a lot easier to adjust this way for the height.
Okay.
It's also proved a lot easier to use and wear.
And it works with the thicker lace too, because sometimes with the speed hooks, it's tight. I like a leather lace and it just gets tight in there.
I've struggled with the speed hooks before too.
So the break-in was pretty straightforward.
Oh, very much so. They were comfortable from the start. They were a little stiff if I wore them for long times in the first few days. I mean, that's always how it is. Mm-hmm. But they proved very comfortable very quickly, which was a blessing.
So you said you're welcome. Well, and you picked them, right?
Yeah.
You told me exactly what you wanted.
I remember looking around. I was like, oh, it's the style and the look. And
Tell us about the style. So how do you style these boots? Because you're clearly, a feminine, you're a girl, and, all the rest. So
I usually wear them with pants or trousers. Today I was wearing my cargo sweatpants that kind of cinched at the ankle. I like wearing them with pants like that. I also have my work pants are more of like they have a flare effect at the bottom. So I like wearing them with those too. They look really nice where the flare ends just above here, They look really nice with that. And it's not too feminine, not too masculine. It has sort of an androgynous feel, which I really like. That fits me well.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, yeah, I wore them with my jeans at some point too, so I like that effect too. I'm hoping one day to get a better pair of jeans where I can cuff them and wear them around, because I think that would be a fun
cute
style too.
No, you own a pair of Doc Martens.
I do, yeah.
All right, let's do a comparison contrast.
I have a vegan pair of Doc Martens. They're pretty similar height. They definitely have a thinner build to them. So they aren't quite as insulating. They aren't quite as, squishy around me. This really does kind of feel like a big sock in a way. And the Doc Martens don't necessarily. I like that both of them are really sturdy, that they have this thick sole. But I will admit this has proved a little bit easier to walk around in. And I like that this stuff doesn't get stuck in it. The only thing about this one is that I've struggled a little bit on ice, where the Doc Martens have a bit more of grip in that way, but
they have warmer. A commando sole.
Yeah, these are a lot warmer though.
These are warmer, yeah. Better leather.
Very much so. Very much so. So.
And I was curious. So I have a couple pair of Grant Stones, and I enjoy gifting them because they're really good and they're not as expensive as, say, a Viberg. So for comparison's sake, I want you to hold this one. I got out my Rancourt. Some of you guys have seen me review these boots a few times. And to me, it looks like the construction is pretty much the same. Let's do same boot to same boot. So if we, the construction, there's an extra seam here. I think the Rancourt has an extra layer going around the bottom. this particular leather is billed as waterproof. So that is a little bit different construction here on the bottom. Let's look at the back and see. So we have,
Oh, yeah.
mine has this pull-up.
Right. You've got
Loop.
the pull-up on the back and I don't.
Yeah, but yours has a padded collar.
Right.
And then if we check out the other side, again, there are a lot of similarities. It does seem to me that the Raincourt just has this double layer of leather going around, which is nice. Right. But the toe is like very similar.
Yeah, this one's just a little bit taller.
And yours is taller. Yep,
that
by
one
design.
Really comes up, has a big toe box.
Yep. And mine has the Vibram sole. So, same composition, just a different sole tread. But in any case, I'm really intrigued. So, just now, I haven't worn them. Let's talk about sizing for a second. So what size did we get? How does that match up with your normal quote-unquote size?
I forget, because generally...
Isn't that a 10.5?
I think so, because generally I wear
Didn't it say in the box?
Men's.
I know that's the other Grant Stones, but I think it's the same size. I think it's
9.5D.
9.5 men's?
I think so, yeah.
What does it say inside?
I don't know.
So a men's 9.5D. Okay, and what size do you normally wear?
Usually I wear a 10 or a 10.5 in men's.
In men's. Okay, so we could say half size down from Brannock, which is a little bit misleading, right? Because,
yeah.
I mean, what do you wear when you get women's sneakers, for example?
Yeah, whenever I get women's, I have to get a 12.
12, because they don't make 11.5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's a little wishy-washy.
It's another good reason why, if you can swing it, to wear men's footwear, because there are more sizes when you get to that size of foot, right? You don't have to, no half sizes. There are plenty of half sizes around 9 and 10. Plus, you get the quality. Yeah. Now, Grandstone does have some women's boots. But we don't know if we could get in them, right? Because our feet are wide.
Yeah, I have that issue too. Yep. That's part of the reason
mother, like daughter.
That's part of the reason I strayed away from the sneakers, because it cinches on my arch and such. So
yeah,
that's why I'm like, these are roomy.
Yeah.
Finally have something I can really stride in. So.
And a lot of women these days, I mean, that's just not uncommon to wear above a 10.
Right.
And what do? They're just, the choices, number one, there's fewer shoes that are made in those sizes. There's no half sizes.
Fewer places that carry those sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might as well just go full on just men's.
Exactly.
The quality is there. The durability is there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Footwear for everyone.
Exactly. So my overall impression is that Grant Stone has done a heck of a job making a mock toe boot with this field boot. Now I know the brass boot also has a kind of a mock toe construction, but it's not the traditional with the extra layer of leather around the front like you see, for example, with these Rancourts. That is, to me, a more functional mock toe design when it comes to, weather resistance, moisture resistance, and roomy toe box with tons of support, but also tons of toe wiggle room, which is what you found too. So you find that you were telling me that you wear a lot of flats at work, but you can wear these at work sometimes.
Yes, I do wear those to work as often as I can. Yep. Yeah, because usually I try to wear like a Chelsea boot or something with a small heel, but this is a lot more fun. At least I think so.
And we were talking earlier, you were talking about the support that wearing the boot offers you.
Yes, I remember we talked about how this kind of ankle support prevents you from making so many micro adjustments at that part of your foot, and when I thought about that, it really clicked with me. And as I started wearing these, I realized just how anchored in I felt when I was wearing them. So as much as I have room down here, my ankle was just hugged, nice and snug. So it makes it a lot easier to walk around for a while, and I don't have to worry as much about my stride landing. It's just a lot sturdier in that way. It makes it easier to walk.
So we need to get your boyfriend interested.
Yes, absolutely.
I think he would look really good in these.
I think so too.
But
definitely.
They're too small for him.
I think so, yeah. They'd probably be a half size too small.
He needs a half size bigger.
That's generally
the
difference.
But yeah, half size down from Brannock. Now, if you're a woman and you're figuring out your women's size compared to men, it gets a little bit more complicated. Yeah. But if you normally would wear a men's 10 or 10.5, and this is 9.5, then yeah, so maybe half size, maybe whole size.
Yeah.
So if you guys
Depends
have
on
any,
weight.
right, this is a D,
Yes.
which is what we like.
All right, that is a really good one.
Yeah. So if you guys know something that we left out, or you have this kind of boot, you want to react, it'd be great to know, if, comparison with like mock toe boots that you have. It'd be interesting to get some more additional like perspective. But what grade would you give this guy?
I would give it a solid. I mean, for me, being not as familiar with leather boots and such, I'd have to give it a 10 because it's proved overwhelmingly exceptional and comfortable and fun to wear. So I'm excited to put them back on.
There you have it. You probably sorry you took them off for the video.
A little. I could have been like, look at me.
So we hope you enjoyed this little break from what's going on in the wider world. And do take care of your feet. That's something that you can always do for yourself. And sometimes you can get a good sale on these. I was just going to say if you can afford it. Mm-hmm. They're not priced like Nikes. Right?
Yeah.
But definitely, as far as heritage boots go, these are moderately priced for the quality because they're made in China. So thanks, people in Xiamen Island, for making these wonderful boots. Y'all did a great job. So everybody take care, and we'll talk soon.